In the opening chapter of the prophet Jeremiah, we find his call narrative. He says, "The word of the Lord came to me. And the Lord said to me, before you were even formed in your mother's womb, I called you. Before you were born, I consecrated you, and I appointed you to be a prophet to all the nations. To that calling, the prophet Jeremiah says, but Lord, how can I speak? I am only a child. How often, when the calling of God comes to us, is our first reaction to make an excuse of why we are unable to fulfill God's calling? The good news for us, though, is that when God calls, God makes a way. When God invites us, God gives us the tools necessary. This morning, as we open ourselves up to God anew, may we open ourselves up to that Spirit that not only helps provide the gifts within us, but also helps make a way.
Rise and join me in the call to worship. The Lord called Jeremiah to be a prophet, but the young man. The Lord assured Jeremiah of divine support and encouragement. The Lord is calling you. Know that whatever endeavor God puts before you, there will be divine support and encouragement. Now, please join us for our hymn. of prayer. O God, in the midst of a cacophony of voices that crush our spirit and deny our calling, when those voices are inner voices that suggest an unworthiness and create fear, let us seek your voice, O gracious God, a voice of affirmation. We come this morning to hear your message and to feel the movement of your spirit. Call us, invite us, encourage us as participants in your kingdom building. And when there is an uneasiness within us, provide us assurance. And when fear seeks to make excuses, let us once again feel a baptismal renewal and then move forward in faith. Amen. Good morning. Welcome to the 11 a.m. worship service here at Cypress Creek Christian Church. We are truly delighted that all of you have chosen to join us this morning and that you've been made to feel welcome. To our guests and members, we would like a record of your presence, so please remember to complete the little blue attendance card from each bulletin. If you are a guest, we thank you for coming, and I also want to encourage you to visit our guest center in the lobby after this service. Now, as is our custom, let's spend some time greeting one another in a spirit of love and Christian acceptance. Let us pass the peace.
Maybe see. Well, I want to add my welcome to that offered by Aaron. It is good to be in the house of God with you this morning. We are in the midst of a series about daring to dream. And we are looking for God's purpose for our individual lives and for the collective community. And today we will focus on words from Luke's gospel, a parable. And I invite you now to hear these words from the 14th chapter. Then Jesus said, "Someone gave a great dinner and invited many. At the time for the dinner, he sent his servant to say to those who had been invited, 'Come, for everything is ready now.' But they, all alike, begin to make excuses. The first said to the servant, 'I have bought a piece of land and I must go out and see it. Please accept my regrets.' Another said, 'I have bought 5 yoke of ox and I am going to try them out. Please accept my regrets.' Another said, 'I have just been married, and therefore I cannot come.' So the servant returned and reported this to his master. Then the owner of the house became frustrated and said to his servant, 'Go out at once into the streets and lanes of the town and bring in the poor and the crippled and the blind and the lame.' And the servant said, 'Sir, what you have ordered has been done, and there is still room.' Then the master said to him, 'Go out into the roads and lanes and compel the people to come in, so that my house may be filled.'" May our God richly bless the reading of these words. In the 8th chapter of the book of Acts, there is this story about Philip who encounters an Ethiopian eunuch, a man that has come into the area, and he is interested in hearing more about God. As they travel along together and Philip shares some of the good news of God's love, the man from Ethiopia sees water. And he says to Philip, "What would keep me from being baptized?" It's an important question to be asked. It's important how Philip responds. For all of his previous teaching and learning would say that this Ethiopian man was outside of God's love, that this man was not a part of the respectable community. And so he is forced to make a decision. If he says yes, it will put him into the unknown, in a world that he has never thought of or experienced before. And he's torn in that moment. And yet he knows that there is something powerful about the waters of baptism.